Ooh, I love that Frank. Shukr Habal Kaya. Habal what? Kaya. Banya Howard Banya Shala. Yahweh Shem Shepherd. We'll keep this over here. That way it's not too much for you. Okay.
Laya Shala.
Laya Shala. Scroll.
Am I supposed to touch it?
Yeah. All right. With that, Amadium, which means to rise. Sar, which means to turn. Panamahakadam, which means to face towards the east. And we're going to start with the Lord's Prayer in the ancient Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Taba'ah. Radazayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'aratazah. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Telanawa. Lacham. Kal. Yawam. Wasalakanaw. Kabawaknaw. Kasalaknaw. Kabawakinaw. Wala'ah. Tabi'ayanaw. Vanasai Abo. Hawashai now. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Wa'ala. Watapara. La'awalamu. Aman. Now in the English, what we said was, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. All right, now the next prayer is the power prayer. Yahweh. Ba'asham. Yahweh Shai. Babakusha. Natalanawa. Haka. Larapa'ah. Kamakala. Wakamarawa. Haka. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Haka. Lahakim. Hamathium. Haka. Arakawa. Hatama Allah. Lagarashan. Bahasham. Yahweh Shai. The water. Aman. Now the power prayer in English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. All manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. Now we got the blessings prayer for Israel. Yahweh. Ba'asham. Yahweh Shai. Barak Lanawa. Wayasha'ala. Wahabayah. Saparium. Barak. Ba'asham. Yahweh Shai. The water. Aman. Now what we said was, Lord, in the name, it's like Lord,
Lord.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
And the school.
And the school.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
All right, now we got Psalm chapter 121. Asha,
Asha,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Ahaharim,
Ahharim,
Ma'ayan,
Ma'ayan,
Yaba'a,
Yaba'a,
Isaiah,
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 Ma'an,
Ma'an,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shamayam,
Shamayam,
Wa'arataza,
Wa'arataza,
Al-Yathan,
Ayatan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Regalika, Al-Yanawam,
Ayanwan,
Shamaraka,
Shamarka,
Hana,
Hana,
La'a,
La'a,
Yanawam,
Yaramwan,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yayashan,
Yashan,
Shawamar,
Shamar,
Yasha'ala,
Yasra'al,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Tazar,
Al-Yad,
Ayat,
Yamyanka,
Yanyanka,
Yawamam,
Yawamah,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'a,
La'a,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Wayarak,
Wayara,
Balayala,
Barya,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Makal Rai,
Makar,
Yashamar,
Yashamor,
Tazaafka,
Taza'afka,
Wabawa'aka,
Baba'afka,
Ma'ata,
Ma'ata,
Wa'ai,
Wa'ai,
Iwalam.
Awalam,
All right, translating in English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills,
I will lift up my eyes
to the hills,
from whence cometh my help.
from which cometh my help.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which
Which
made
made
heaven
heaven
and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved.
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
Behold,
Behold,
that's like he that keepeth thee
he that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yasha'ala
he that keepeth Yahweh
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade
Yahweh is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee
by
by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in.
from this time forth
From this time forth,
and even forevermore.
and even
forevermore.
Now we got Psalm chapter 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Allahim,
al damayalaka,
Adamayalaka,
al thakarash,
Al-Rash,
wa al thashakwat,
Wa-al-Tawat,
al kayahana,
Kayahana,
awayabyaka,
our Yabika,
yahamayawan,
Mayawa,
ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
al imaka,
Amrika,
yaira yamwa,
Arayum,
sawada,
Sarada,
wayata,
Wayata,
yai tazawa,
Wayata,
al tazapawanyaka,
Al-Tazawani,
amarawa,
Amarawa,
lakawa,
Nakar,
wanakakidam,
Namkakidam,
magawya,
Nakakidam,
wala'a,
Walayam,
yazakar,
Yasakar,
sham yasha'ala,
Shal,
iwada,
Yahida,
kaya,
Haya,
nawai tazawa,
Tazawat,
laba,
Labal,
yakadwa,
Yakawa,
ayaka,
Arika,
baryat,
Barya,
yakarathwa,
Yaparat,
ahalia,
Ahali,
adawam,
Adaman,
wayashma'aliam,
Wayashmahan,
mawa'aba,
Ahab,
wahagariam,
Guardian,
gabal,
Gabal,
wa'imawan,
Gabal,
wa'imalak,
Amalak,
palasha,
Palasha,
am yashabi,
Amyashabi,
tazawar,
War,
gamashawar,
Karmas, War,
nalawa,
Malawa,
imam,
Aiman,
hayawa,
Ayawa,
zarawai,
Sarwa,
labanya lawat,
Nubarayawa,
salah,
Salah,
aishalaham,
Ashalahum,
kamadyan,
Ramaj,
kasaya sara'a,
Kasayama,
kayabyan,
Kayabi,
banakal,
Banakal,
kwayashwan,
Kayashu,
nashamadwa,
Nashawa,
ba'ayan,
Ba'ayam,
da'ara,
Da'ara,
hayawa,
Ayawa,
daman,
Dama,
la'adama,
Na'ama,
shayathamwa,
Shaitamwa,
nadayamawa,
Nadamya,
kaira,
Kyra,
wakaza'aba,
Wakazad,
wakazaba,
Wakazbat,
wakatazamanai,
Wakazabunai,
kaunasaya kamwa,
Kamasai, Kamo,
ashar,
Ashar,
amarwa,
Amar,
nayarasha,
Shai,
lanawa,
Lanawa,
ad, Na'awah,
Na'awah,
Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Alahayah,
Alahayah,
Shayathamwa,
Shatamwa,
Kagalgala,
Gagal,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya,
Lapanya,
Rawaka,
Laka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Tabaira,
Tabaira,
Ya'ira,
Ra'ira,
Wakalahaba,
Ukalahaba,
Thalahat,
Talahat,
Tarayum,
Tarayam,
Kantharadakma,
Kaptan,
Basairaka,
Bas Iraka,
Wabasawapathka, Wabasawapathka,
Wabasawapath,
Tabahalam,
Tabahalam,
Mala'ah,
Mala'ah,
Panyahum,
Panyaham,
Kwalawan,
Kwalu,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayabakwash,
Shumka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahau,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabahalwa,
Wayapahalawa,
Ayai,
Id,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayapar,
Wayabadwa,
Wayapawan,
Wayadaiwa,
Wayda,
Kayatha,
Tayata,
Shumka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahau,
Labadka,
Labaka,
Alyawan,
Alimu,
Alkoha,
Aka,
Aratazah.
Ratiza.
Now we have Psalm 83 in the English. Keep not thou silence,
Keep not thy silence,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh,
Hold not thy peace,
hold not thy peace,
and be not still,
be not still,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh,
For lo,
for lo,
thy enemies make a tumult,
thy enemies make a tumult,
and they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
I lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted
and consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come
Come,
and let us cut them off
let us cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation,
that the name Yasha'Allah
that the name Yahshua
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted
together
with one consent.
with 1%.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom
The tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab
Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the
Hagarenes,
Gabal
Cabal,
and Ammon
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
the inhabitants of Tyre.
for the inhabitants of Tyre,
Ashur also was joined with them.
Ashur, joined them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah,
Do unto them
So unto them,
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as
as
to
it is,
as to Jabin,
as to
as
be,
be,
at the brook of Kaisan,
as broken their son,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
they have become as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles
Make their nobles
like Oreb
like
Oreb,
and like Zeid.
and Zaid.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as Zabah
all the princes of the Ba,
and as Zalmunna,
and as Salmuna,
who said,
said,
Let us take to ourselves
let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of God in possession.
us is God in possession.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth a wood,
as a fire burning the wood,
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
and
as
as
the flames set their
mountains
mountains
fire.
So persecute them
So persecute
with thy tempest,
with thy temper,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm,
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded,
and troubled forever.
in trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that they may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
who alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
are the most high.
over all the earth.
for all their
All right, now we got the blessings prayer in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Wa Yahweh Shai,
Yahshai,
Wa Mayaka Allah,
Wahiyaka,
Wa Alahayim,
Allah,
Matazab Ya'ah,
Matasabiyah,
Allah Wap Yahana,
Wapiyana,
Ha Allah Wapyam,
Wapiyam,
Ha Saranyam,
Hasaranyam,
Ha Quatazayanyam,
Hasaranyam,
Ha Kaya Yelyam,
Hakamyam,
Wa Ha Akwathyam,
Wahawati,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'asham,
Hashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahushai,
the water,
the water,
Aman.
Aman.
Now, in the blessings prayer in English, bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, God,
and Yahweh Shai,
Yahushai,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angels,
commanding General Yahana,
Commander General,
the generals,
the generals,
the captains,
the captains,
the officers,
the officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters.
the sisters,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shai.
in the name of
Yahushai.
Thank you, so be it.
thank you, so be it.
All right. Go ahead and set the scroll up. Slide. Yeah, hold on. Slide. There we go. All right. Yeah. Now with that, Mashavia, which means to sit, you go ahead and have a seat. Okay. Shalom, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua Barakatah, Yahweh Shemar Atam Ba'ashem Yahushai. This is the Isupk. It started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York in 1969. We are under commanding General Yohana, here to teach the truth of the Bible that so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians are the real Israelites according to the scriptures. Now, again, just like in the book of Genesis says, the evening and the morning were the first day. This is a perfect example of when the Sabbath service can be held at nighttime, no different than when we have our feast days, where we usually wait for the sun to set and then we can have our services then. Most of the time we have our services in what we consider to be the morning, right? The next day, due to timing and things that we have events throughout the day. But doing the Sabbath service when the sun sets around this time, around 8 o'clock, around the time we're at right now, is perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? Because this is technically the beginning of the next day. It's not like you go off of the Greco-Roman Empire and the way they've changed the times and laws, and now midnight is the beginning of the next day. Well, no, according to the Bible, it's when the sun sets. So we're starting our Sabbath service. What's up?
Sir.
What's up?
Can you explain a day to us?
In the book of Genesis?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's kind of like what I said.
Can you explain because like you said, like the day is from 12 a.m. till 12 a.m., right?
According to Esau's timing,
right?
Yeah.
So like, can you explain a day for us Hebrews? You know what I mean?
I got you. Oh, go ahead, sis. Did you?
Well, I was gonna kind of ask the question at the same time, but is it like around 5 p.m.? So like 5 p.m. today would start sunset, would start the new day, right?
Basically, yeah. I noticed that it has been happening a little earlier, right? Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right. I believe it is around 5 o'clock because they do this whole daylight savings times and all that because it's what their calendar is it's off, so they have to make adjustments throughout the year, and that's why you have daylight saving times where it's like, oh, we lost an hour or we gained an hour. Well, according to the scriptures, it's just when the sun sets.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is that technically is something that is a rolling sunset. It's even kind of like that in America too, in the sense that there's an East Coast, a Central Time, Pacific Time, and those happen at different times, but it's still, off by a number of hours. It could be 4, it could be 6 hours. It depends on what time of the year. But when you go into the book of Genesis and it says that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth and everything was still void and there was darkness, we know that darkness always came first. You understand? And the evening and the morning were the first day. And then after everything that the Most High added every single day, it ends that section of Genesis 1 by saying the evening and the morning were the first day, or the evening and the morning were the second day. And so the evening is when the sun sets, and that means that darkness is then the beginning of the next day, just like how it was in the very beginning of the book of Genesis. So when you think of what a day is, the day begins with darkness. Then there's the light that comes. Does that make sense? We won't go too into detail on it, only because we do got a number of scriptures to read. And we're going to be starting off in Genesis chapter 40 and verse 5. I'm going to read all the way through 41 and 30. But I'm going to help you get through it, all right? We're going to do it in one fell swoop because we got one reader today. And so we're going to go through a lot of Hebrew right now, but just to kind of recap, go ahead and get it in English, have that ready as well. Because what's happening right now is Joseph is the focus of these chapters here in Genesis. We already talked about what happened with Jacob and his brothers. That's like Jacob and his sons, and how they sold Joseph into captivity, and how Joseph ended up as basically he's gone through all types of situations. He had been sold into slavery. He ended up becoming a a house servant to one of Pharaoh's bodyguards or executioners or something like that. And now he's in the household where he started to work his way up in the household, and then the Pharaoh, the executioner's wife tried to come on to him, and he ended up turning her down. So she framed him into, basically persuading her husband that he tried to make an advance on her, and now he's in prison, in like the dungeon of the prison. You know what I mean? Like the lowest of the low. And so Joseph is then again being struck all the way back down to the bottom. That's the situation that we're at right now once we get to this chapter here. Now, when you go to the Bible Hub app, for those of you that are tuning in, you want to follow along the Hebrew with us and go to Genesis chapter 40 and verse 5. 40 and verse 5. There's quite a few verses that we'll be reading here, but we'll get through it pretty quickly here. All right. Genesis chapter 40 and verse 5. Repeat after me. And of course, Taziar, you can repeat after us as well. All right. Wayakalmawa.
Wayakalmawa.
Kalawam.
Kalawam.
Shanyaham.
Shanayam.
Shanyaham.
Shanayam.
Try again. Shanyaham.
Shanyawam.
Ham. There you go. Ayash.
Ayash.
Kalamawa.
Kalamawa.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Akkad.
Akkad.
Ayash.
Ayash.
Kapatharwan.
Kapatharwan.
Kalamwa.
Kalamwa.
Hamashakwa.
Hamashakwa.
Waha'apa.
Waha'apa.
Ashar. Lamalak. Matazarium. Ashar. Asawarium. Babayath. Hasahar. Verse 6. Wayaba'a.
Wayabaya.
Alayaham.
Elohayam.
Yawasap. Babakwar. Wayara'a.
Wayayar.
Ra'a. Yeah. As I'm pronouncing the characters, look at the characters, and you want to start trying to remember what they look like as we say them. You know what I'm saying? Some of them you already know very well. Some of them you don't see as often, so it may trick you a little bit. Plus, you're looking at an iPhone. iPhones are way more fancy. I'm telling y'all. If y'all are using the Bible Hub app, the iPhone, it uses the formal Hebrew, like the typewriting Hebrew, whereas the Android app uses more or less the type of Hebrew that you would actually write. You know what I'm saying? So it's different, but they look similar enough, I guess. Atham. Wahanam.
Wahana.
Za'ipayar.
Za'apayam.
Verse 7. Wayasha'al. Atha. Sarayasawa. Sarayasaya. Parai. Parai. That's the word for Pharaoh. Okay. Ashar. Atawa. Bamashawar. Yeah, Bamashamar. It's like Bamashamar. Bayath. Adawan. La'amar. Marawai. Panyakam.
Panaikam.
Ra'ayam.
Ra'ayam.
Hayawam. Verse 8.
Waya
Waya Amarwa. Waya
Waya
Amar
Amar. Waya
Wa. Waya Amar Wa.
Waya Amar.
Ala Yawa.
Allah
Yawa.
Awa.
Yo.
Ella
Kalawam.
Kalawam.
It's like I'll slow down a little. Let me see. Yeah, Kalawam.
Kalawam.
Kalamanwa.
Kalamadwa.
Wapathar.
Wapatar.
Ayan.
Ayan.
Athawa.
Atawa.
Waya Amar.
Waya Amar.
Alaham.
Alaham.
Yawasap.
Yawasa.
Halawa'a.
Hatlawa.
La Alahayam.
La
Alahayam.
Alahayam.
Patharanyam.
Pataranyam.
Saparwa.
Saparya.
Na'a.
Na'a.
Laya.
Laya.
Verse 9.
Verse 9.
Wayasapar.
Waya Sapar.
Shar.
Shar.
Hamashakwam.
Hamash.
Looks like it. Hamashakyam.
Hamashakyam.
Atha.
Ata.
Kalamwa.
Kalamwa.
La Yawasap.
Laya Wasap.
Excellent. Waya Amar.
Waya Amar.
Lawa.
Lawa.
Bakalawam. That's like it. Bakalawamya.
Bakalawamya.
Wahana.
Wana. Wa'ana.
Gapan.
Kaban.
Lapanya.
Lapanya.
Verse 10.
Verse 10.
Wagapan. That's like it. Wabagapan.
Waba Gaban.
Yeah, Wabagapan. Yeah, that's right. Shalash.
Shalash.
Shar Yagam.
Sharai.
Shar Yagam.
Shar Ragam.
Wahaya.
Wayahaya.
Kapara. It's like it. Kaparakath.
Kapar Kath.
Yeah, Kaparakath.
Kapar Kath.
Ilayath. It's like it. Ilatha.
Ilada.
Natazah.
Nataza.
Habash
Habash.
Yalawa.
Habash.
Yalawa.
Lawa.
Yeah. Habasha Yalwa. Habasha Yalwa. That's what it is.
Labasha. Lawa.
Ashakalathya.
Shakalathya.
Ashakalathya.
Ashakalathya.
Inabium.
Anamian. Verse 11.
Verse 11. Wakawas.
Wakawas.
Parai.
Parai.
Bayadya.
Bayadya.
Wa'akwaf.
Wa'akwaf.
Ata.
Ata.
Ha'inabium.
Ha'anabian.
Wa'ashakat.
Wa'ashakat.
Atam.
Adam.
Allah.
Allah.
Kawas.
Kawas.
Parai.
Parai.
Wa'atan.
Wa'adan.
Ata.
Ata.
Hakawas.
Hakawas.
Al.
Al.
Kap.
Kap.
Parai.
Parai.
Verse 12.
Verse 12.
Waya Amar.
Waya Amar.
Lawa.
Lawa.
Yawasap.
Yawasap.
Za.
Za.
Patharanwa.
Patarai.
Patharanwa.
Patarai.
Is it Patharnawa? Oh, Patharnawa. Select.
Nawa.
Patharnawa. Shalash.
Shalash.
Hasharagayam.
Hasharagayam.
Shalash.
Shalash.
Yamayam.
Yamayam.
Yamayam. Mm-hmm. Hama.
Hama. Verse 13.
Verse 13. So we got Ba'aiwad.
Ba'awad.
Shalash.
Salash.
Yamayam.
Yamayam.
Mm-hmm. Yasha'ah.
Yasha'ah.
Parai.
Power I.
Aitha.
Aita.
Ra'ashak.
Ra'ashak.
Wahashibak.
Wa'ashabak.
Al.
Al.
Kanak.
Kanak.
Wanathath.
Wanadath.
Kawas.
Kawas.
Parai.
Power I.
Bayadawa.
Ba'adawa.
Or Bayadwa, Slakia.
Ba'adwa.
Bayad.
Ba'ad.
Ba. Yad.
Ba'yadawa.
Iskos now. Bayadwa.
Ba.
Remember, Yad means hand. So to say his hand, it's Yadwa. You're adding a wa at the end.
Ba'yad.
Root word is Yad.
Ba'yadawa.
All right. Kamashapat.
Kamashabat.
Hara'ashwan.
Hara. Ashwan.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Hayayath.
Hayayat.
Mashakawa.
Mashakawa. Verse 14.
Verse 14. Kaya.
Kaya.
Ama.
Ama.
Zakarathanya.
Sakaratanya.
Zakarathanya. Athak.
Atak.
Ka'ashar.
Ka'ashar.
Yayatawab.
Yayatayab.
Laka.
Laka.
Wa'isha. Wa'yasha. It's like it. Wa'ishayath.
Wayai Shayath.
Wa'ishayath.
Wayai Shayath.
Na'a.
Na'a.
Imadya.
Imadwa. Imadya.
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 Kasad.
Kasad.
This is a tricky one right here. Wahazakarathanya. Wahazakarathanya.
Wahazakarathanya.
It's actually 5 words and make mention of me. Wahazakarathanya.
Wahazakarathanya.
That's a tricky one. All right. Al. Parai.
Parai.
Here's another one. Wataza athanya. Wataza athanya.
Wataza.
Yeah, try to piece it together. Wataza athanya.
No.
Try it all together. Wataza athanya.
Wataza dananya.
Now you're reading Hebrew, y'all. Hey, yo, give it up to the Most High for this language. Because I tell you right now, none of us knew how to. It's like we're babes, like relearning this. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it comes down to first learning the alphabet, knowing how to pronounce it, and then you start to pick up some of these words like Amar, right? Where it says said, Amarwa, he said. Then you start picking up the rules, but it all starts with the foundation of knowing how to say it. And then you can always hit the number up top so you can see what the root word is if you need help understanding where the connectors go. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time you have a connector at the end, unless there's some kind of preposition or adjective added at the end or beginning of it. So, like I say, you got to piece this together. And it's the flow sounds good. Once you get it and you can say it a few times with confidence, it's excellent. And that's what we're trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not going to be speaking English in the kingdom, I'm telling you right now. So you might want to, brush up on some of this. Mawa. Habayath. Hazah.
Verse 15.
How many verses are in this chapter? Let me see. Oh, we're doing excellent. We're going along with it. All right. Kaya. This is verse 15, right? Kaya.
Kaya.
Ganab.
Ganab.
Ganabathya.
Ganabathya.
Ma'arataza.
Maharataza.
Ha'ibarium.
Ha'abarium.
That's an important word right there. Ibarium means Hebrew. You understand? Or Hebrews. Ibar, Hebrew, which means to cross over, I believe. Yeah, to cross over. Ibarium means Hebrews. Ibarium is your nationality. And then Lashon Kodash is the language, Hebrew. All right. Wagam.
Wagam.
Pa.
Pa.
It's either pa or paha, one of those. Paha.
Pa'a.
La'a.
La'a.
Ashayathya.
Ashayafya.
Ma'awa. Ma'awama.
Mawa. Mawa.
Ma'awama.
Ma'amawa.
You had it backwards. Ma'awama.
Ma'awama.
There you go. Kaya.
Kaya.
Shamawa.
Shamawa.
Athaya.
Ataya.
Baba War.
Baba War.
Verse 16.
Verse 16.
Waya Ra'ah.
Waya
Ra'ah.
Ra'ya.
Ra'ah.
Ya.
Waya Ra'ah.
Waya
Ra'ah.
Ra'ya.
No, just ah.
Oh.
Waya Ra'ah.
Waya ya.
Ra'ah.
Ya.
It's a tongue twister, man, but you'll get it. Keep going. Shar.
Shar.
Interesting. That means chief. But Shar is also in the word that means prince. But chief is actually, according to the scriptures, the rank of general, if I'm not mistaken, in the Bible. And is also used in the Native American heritage as the highest ranked person in the tribe. So chief, which is Shar, we also consider that to be Alawap, which is general. But a lot of times in the scriptures, you'll see chief there also. All right. Let's see. Ha'apayam.
Ha'apayam.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Tawab.
Tawab.
Pathar.
Padar.
Waya Amar.
Waya Amar.
Al.
Al.
Yawasap.
Yawasap.
Apa.
Apa.
Anya.
Anya.
Bakalawa. Bakalawamya.
Bakalawamya.
There you go. Wahana.
Wahana.
Shalash.
Shalash.
Salayah.
Saya.
Karya.
Karya.
Ayla.
Ayla.
Ra'ashya.
Ra'ashya. Verse 17.
Yeah, please repeat after me. Yeah, we all say it together. Wabasal.
Wabasal.
Ha'ayla Yawan.
Yawam.
It's a tricky one because you got
Ha'ayla
Ha'ayl Yawan. Ha'ayl Yawalan. Slakia. Ha'ayl Yawan. Ya is the short line. Wa is the medium line, and end na is the last line, and it's like that only because it's at the end of the word. Ha'al Yawan. And not like Ayalawan, it's Ha'al Yawan. Yeah. But you see how it's written on the you see how it's written right here? It's like a little squiggly that's hovering in the air, then a line, and then a longer line. And that's how you got to write it. You got to write it just like that when you're writing it. You're going to need that for the officer's test one of these days. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, everyone knows how that's on it. All right, never mind. It's like it. Macau. Ma'akal. Parai. Ma'aisha. Apa. Waha'aiwap. Iwap is the word for birds. So waha means and the. And then wa means and, ha means the, and then iwap is birds. Iwap. Not like IHOP. Like when you go to IHOP, well, brothers like to go to chicken joints, so technically you can say you're gonna get some IWAP. You're gonna get some chicken. You know what I mean? We just gotta find the word for fried. IWAP. This is a Hebrew class at the same time. Yeah, I wop. You see them flying in the air, they flapping their wings. They, I wop. I flop if they're falling in the other air. It's like it. A cow.
A cow.
Mm-hmm. A thumb.
I thumb.
Mana.
Mana.
Hasal.
Hashal.
Ma'al.
Ma'al.
Ra'ashya.
Ra'ashya. Verse
Excellent.
18.
Waya'ayin.
Why?
Waya'ayin.
Why?
There's those rules again. You see the Y is the regular size. Ya is the little hover joint. And then you got I and then Na at the end, which makes it just a longer line there.
Okay.
What? Because Na usually it looks kind of like almost like a 3?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? When it's not in the end of a sentence or a phrase. So again, wa ya ain.
Why? Ya. Ain.
Wa ya ain. Ya wasa.
Why? Ya sa.
Wa ya amar.
Why? Ya amar.
Za.
Za.
Patharanwa.
Pataranya.
Patharanwa.
Pataranwa.
There you go. Shalash.
Shalash.
It says shalashath, but we know that shalash is just 3. So you can pronounce it how you know. If you ever see where it says Adanya, that's the same thing as Adawan. You understand? So when you see those words, it's a dialect thing. It's like no different than saying, you know what I'm talking about? And do you know what I am speaking of? You know what I mean? Like it's a different way of saying it.
So it's like,
Go ahead.
Like that's the same, like saying Don, Dueña, and you know what I mean? Like we use the dialect, like you just said.
Yeah, it's spelled different sometimes. It's like when you text, like you know how when you text versus when you have to write a paper for school.
Yeah.
Like the words are the same, but the way you write is going to be way different. So sometimes it's more formal than other ways.
So pretty much like shorthand.
Shorthand is a good way to say it. And that's another reason why Hebrew is the shortest of shorthands, because there's no vowels. It's all consonants. We would think that they're vowels because they have the ah sound or the o, but those were not even vowels back then. They were converted to vowels later on. And in fact, it's not until you get to the Assyrian Hebrew that you start to actually see their rules take place in there. But when you're reading the interlinear version, you're seeing how they would read it now, but we pronounce it different than how they write it.
Right.
Even though we're reading the same thing that they read, it sounds completely different because we're not pronouncing any vowels in it.
Yeah.
Which is shorthand, basically.
And we don't do that in English or Spanish. Like you said, we don't do that in English or Spanish.
No,
because
it's not that we're lazy. It's just
like
we try to make it easy.
Yeah.
Which is why everybody's got inside jokes with their family, because you've been around them for so long that you start to shorten words the only way that you and your family members know. Where a word that started off one way just sounds completely different because it keeps evolving over time, and then it becomes a whole different sounding word, or maybe just a really short version of that, And that's what people call inside jokes when it comes to their own dialect. And this is kind of like us reverting back to the default settings, you know what I mean? I think of it like that. The start where it says and said. No. 3. Shalash. Hasaliyam.
Hasaliyam.
Shalash.
Yamayam.
Hama. Verse
19.
Ba'aiwad.
Ba'aiwad.
There you go. Shalash. Yamayam. Yasha'ah. Parai. Ata. Ra'ashak. Ma'aliak. Watala. Awathak.
Awathak.
Al. Aitaza. Wa'akal. Ha'awap. Basharak.
Basharak.
Ma'aliak.
Verse 20.
Waha, it's like a Wayahaya.
Wayahaya.
Bayawam.
Bayawam.
Washalayashya.
Washalayashwa.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Haladath.
Haladath.
Atha.
Atah.
Parai.
Parai.
Wayaisha.
Wayaisha.
Mashalatha.
Mashalatah.
There's no la there. My
Oh,
bad.
Masha.
It's just a Mashatha.
Mashatah.
There you go. Lakal.
Lakal.
Ibadyawan.
Abadiyawan.
It's like Ibadyawa.
Abadiyawa.
Wayasha.
Hasha.
Atha.
Atah.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Shar.
Shar.
Hamashakyam.
Hamashakyam.
Wa'ath.
Wa'af.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Shar.
Shar.
Ha'apayam.
Hapapyan.
Bathawak.
Batawak.
It's like that last one kind of jumped around on me. Ibadyawa.
Abadiyawa.
There we go.
Verse 21.
Why you see?
At the next scripture, could I charge my phone for a second?
Yeah. Wayashab.
Wayashab.
Atha.
Atah.
Shar.
Shar.
Hamashakyam.
Hamashakyam.
Al.
Al.
Mashakawa.
Mashakarwa.
Wayatan.
Wayatan.
Hakawas.
Akawash.
Al.
Al.
Kapa.
Kapa.
Parai.
Parai.
Verse 22.
Verse 22.
Wa'ath.
Wa'af.
Shar.
Shar.
Ha'apayam.
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 Thala.
Tala.
Ka'ashar.
Ka'ashar.
Pathar.
Patar.
Laham.
Laham.
Yawasap.
Yawasat.
Verse 23.
Verse 23.
Wala'ah.
Wala'a.
Zakar.
Sakar.
Shar.
Shar.
Hamashakyam.
Hamashakyam.
Atha.
Atah.
Yawasap.
Yawasat.
Waya. What? Okay. Wayashakath Hawa.
Wayashakafida.
Hawa.
Hawa.
Yeah, try again. Wayashakath. It's like it. Wayashakath Hawa.
Wayashakaf.
Kaf Hawa.
Kaf. Hawa.
That's the end of the chapter. Let's go ahead and get that in English.
What were we at? 40 and verse 5?
Yeah.
Genesis chapter 40 and verse 5. And they dreamed a dream, both of them, each man his dream in one night. Each man according to the interpretation of his dream, the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, which were bound in the prison. Verse 6. And Joseph came in unto them in the morning and looked upon them, Salakia. And behold, they were sad. Verse 7. And he asked Pharaoh's officers that were with him in the ward of his Lord's house, saying, Wherefore look ye so sadly today? Verse 8. And they said unto him, We have dreamed a dream, and there is no interpreter of it. And Joseph said unto them, Do not interpretation belong to God? Tell me them, I pray you. Verse 9. And the chief butler told his dream to Joseph and said to him, In my dream, behold, a vine was before me. Verse 10. And in the vine were 3 branches, and it was as though it budded, and her blossoms shot forth and the crushers thereof brought forth ripe grapes. Verse 11, and Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and I gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. Verse 12, and Joseph said unto him, this is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches of 3 days. Verse 13, yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head and restore thee unto thy place, and thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand after the formal manner, without waste his butler. Salakia. Verse 14. But think of me when it shall be well with thee, and soothe kindness, I pray thee, unto me.
This is the important part about what's going on. So what's happening is that the Pharaoh had a butler and a baker that were thrown into prison. Coming from the highest end of society, he was on bad terms with the Pharaoh and was thrown into captivity, basically where the Joseph was at. Now, they both had a dream, or a nightmare, if you will, for one of them at least, where they needed an understanding and interpretation of it. Joseph was like, well, the interpretation of dreams belong to the Most High. And so he said, tell me about your dream. And so the butler tells him about his dream, and he's telling him that after 3 days, that Pharaoh's going to put you back to where you're at, and you're not going to be in the prison anymore. But read verse 14 again. He says, once you're back to where you're supposed to be, don't forget about this right here. Read that.
Verse 14, but think on me when it shall be well with thee, and sue kindness, I pray thee, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of this house.
He says, once you're back in your position, don't forget about me, because I'm still here in the prison. That's going to be his ticket out. He's planting that seed in the mind of the butler to say, you know what, remember this moment, because there may come a time where you may need somebody like me that can interpret dreams, and you're going to need to get me up out of here. Joseph, just, being the kind of brother that he was, had that spirit on him of damn near like prophecy. You know what I'm saying? That's why when Joseph had the dream about him being Lord over his brothers, that's something that was set in motion. You know what I'm saying? And so he's definitely got the spirit of the Lord with him because of how he's able to break these things down, even with strangers. You know what I'm saying? That's a powerful thing. But keep going.
Verse 15. For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of Hebrews,
yeah.
And here also have I done nothing that they should put me into the dungeon. Verse 16. When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said unto Joseph, I also was in my dream, and behold, I had 3 white baskets on my head. Verse 17. And in the uppermost basket there was of all manner of baked mints of Pharaoh, and the birds did eat them out of the basket upon my head. And Joseph answered and said, this is my interpretation thereof. The 3 baskets are 3 days. Verse 19. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thy head from off thee, and shall hang thee on a tree.
Damn.
Yeah.
And the birds shall eat thy flesh off of thee.
Yeah, that's not a good way to go out, right? But he's telling him his future right there. And that's very gruesome. This ain't going to be read in no Bible school. I'm telling you right now. So your head going to get ripped off your head. You're going to be hanging on a tree, and birds going to pick at you, or what's left of you. And that's it's very gruesome to describe, but this is the Most High's word. And it's showing you this. Why does that matter nowadays? Think about this. We go out there in public and we talk about what's going to happen to this entire place, whether it be good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be thermonuclear war and scriptures about chariots of fire and Christ coming and devouring, with his words, and also having his vesture dipped in blood and all that. People are like, hey, that's crazy. Why y'all talking like that? Well, it's because the book says it. It's because the Most High ordains it. There's no going against it. It's just whether or not you can accept that or not. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Verse 20, and it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants.
Yeah.
And he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 21, and he restored the chief butler unto the butlership again, and he gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. Yeah. Verse 22, but he hanged the chief baker as Joseph had interpreted to them. Mm-hmm. Verse 23, yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph, but forgot him.
Yeah, he forgot about Joseph. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He didn't hold his end of the bargain, at least for now. Now we're going to go to the next chapter. I'm going to go back to the Hebrew. And I believe it's, we're going to be reading 30 verses straight up. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go through the rest of these verses here and then see what happens with Joseph. So again, that's Genesis chapter 41. Go back to you still trying to charge his phone? I'll try to get through it. How much percentage you got left?
Nah, he don't got shit. He don't have nothing.
Well, you can look off.
Nah, he got like
dim the light though. That's part of the problem. You got to dim the light. That's what each of.
Oh, that's my phone.
Oh,
that's my phone.
You got 2%? Oh no, that's not.
How do I put it into
that
linear?
Works too.
How do I put it into linear on here? How do I put it into linear?
INT right there, which is confusing because most people would think that means international version.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, that's why most people don't click that. We don't deal with but the interlinear is what that actually means when you're dealing with this Hebrew app. You know what I'm talking about? All right, here you are.
Verse 1.
Yeah, Genesis 41:1. Wayahaya. Makwataza. Shanyatham. Shanathyam.
Shanathyam.
Yamayam. Wa parai. Halam. Wahana. Ahmad. Al. Haya Ara.
Verse 2. What?
Wahana. Mana. Haya Ar. Ailath. Shabai.
Parawath.
Wapawath. Mara'ah. Wabar Ya'ah. Yeah, there you go. Bashar. Watarai Yana. Yana.
Ba'akwa. Verse 3.
Wahana. Shabai. Parawath.
Akarwath.
Ailawath. Akar Yaham. Yahan. Akar Yahan.
Raham.
Mana. Hayar. Ra'aywa. Wadakawath. Yeah, that's right. Bashar. Wata'aimadna. Aimadna. Amadna. There you go. Atazal. Aparwath. Al. Shapath. Hayar. Verse 4. Wata'akalno.
What the
Wa'a,
cow?
Watha, Akalna.
What the cow?
Haparwath,
A power.
Ra'aiwath,
What?
Ra'aiwath. Hamara'ah,
Hamara.
Wadakwath,
What a quaff.
Habashar,
Habashar.
Ad,
Off.
Shabai,
Shabai.
Haparawath,
Haparwath.
Yapath,
Wapath.
Hamara,
Hamara.
Wahabar Ya'ath,
What a bar rayaf.
Wayayakwataza,
Waya quataza.
Parai,
Parai. Verse 5.
Wayashan,
Waya shun.
Wayakalam, Wayakalam,
Waya kalam.
Shanyath,
Shanyath.
Wahana,
Wa'ana.
Shabai,
Shabai.
Shabaliam,
Shabayawam.
Ilawath,
Aliyawath.
Bakwana,
Bakana.
Akkad,
Akkad.
Barayaawa,
Baraibu awa.
Watawab,
Atabwa. Verse 6.
Wahana,
Wahana.
Shabai,
Shabai.
Shabalam,
Shabali.
Dakwawath,
Dakawath.
Washadawapath,
Washadawapath.
Dawapath.
Washadawapath.
There you go. Quadayam,
Kadayam.
Quadayam, Tazamakwa,
Tazamaka.
Akaryaham,
Akarium. Verse 7.
Wait for mine. There we go. Watabalaina. Balaina.
Watabalaina.
Shabalium.
Hashabalium.
Adakwawath.
Wadakawath.
Atha.
Wada.
Shabai.
Shabah.
Hashabalium.
Hashabalium.
Habaraya.
Habaraya.
Habarayawath.
Hama.
Habar Ya'awath.
Habar. Bayawath.
Ya'awath. Yeah. Wa. Wayaquatas. Parai.
Harai.
Wahana.
Wa'ana.
Kalawam.
Kalawam. Verse 8.
Wayahaya.
Wayahaya.
Babaquar.
Babaquar.
Wathapayam.
Watapirim.
It's like a Rawachwa.
Rawakwa.
Wayashalach.
Wayashalah.
Wayaquara.
Wayakara.
Quara.
Karawa.
Ata.
Ata.
Kal.
Ka.
Karat. Karatamya.
Karatamya.
Matazarium.
Matazaria.
Wa'ath.
Wa'ath.
Kal.
Kal.
Kakamyam.
Kakamya.
Wayasar.
Wayasapar.
Parai.
Parai.
Laham.
Laham.
Ata.
Ata.
Kalamwa.
Kalama.
Wa'ayan.
Wa'ayan.
Pawathar.
Pawatar.
Awatham.
Awatam.
Parai.
La Parai. Verse 9.
Wayadabar.
Wayatabar.
Shar.
Shar.
Hamashakyam.
Hamashakiam.
Atha.
Ata.
Parai.
Parai.
La'amar.
La'amar.
Atha.
Ata.
Kata'aya.
Kataya.
Anya.
Anya.
Mazakya. Mazakya.
Mazakyar.
Hayawam.
Ayawam.
Alright.
Verse 10.
Verse 10. Parai.
Parai.
Quatazak.
Katazak.
Al.
Al.
Ibadyawa.
Ibadiyawa.
Wayathan.
Wayatan.
Athaya.
Ataya.
Bamashamar.
Bamashamar.
Bayath.
Bayath.
Shar.
Shar.
Hatabakyam.
Hatabakim.
Athaya. Wa'ath.
Wayath.
Shar.
Shar.
Ha'apyam.
Ahabuakim.
Verse 11.
Verse 11.
Wanakalama.
Anakalima.
Kalawam.
Kalawam.
Balayala.
Balablawa.
Balayala.
Balawa.
Achad.
Akkad.
Anya.
Anya.
Wahawa'a.
Wahala.
Ayash.
Ayash.
Kapath Rawan.
Kapathrawan.
Kalamwa.
Kalamwa.
Kalamnawa.
Kalamana.
Those two versions of the same word. Of his own dream, dreamed. Interesting. Okay, verse 12.
Verse 12.
Washam.
Washam.
Athanwa.
Athana.
Na'ir.
Na'ar.
Ibaria.
Abaria.
Ibad.
Ibad.
Lashar.
Lashar.
Hatabakyam.
What the Bathia.
Yeah, Hatabakyam.
What the Bathium.
Wanasapar.
What the Sapar.
Lawa.
Wa.
Wayapathar.
Ayat the bar.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Atha.
Atha.
Kalamath Yanawa.
Kalamath. Yanawa.
That was awesome. Kalamath Yanawa. All right. Ayash.
Ayash.
Kakalmawa.
Kakalama.
Pathar.
Pathar.
All right.
Verse 13.
Wayahaya.
Wayaya.
Ka'ashar.
Ka'ashar.
Pathar.
Pathar.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Khan.
Khan.
Haya.
Haya.
Athya.
Afia.
Hashayab.
Hashayab.
Al.
Al.
Kanya.
Kanya.
Wa Athawa.
Athawa.
Thala.
Thala. Verse 14.
Waya Shalach.
Waya Shalab.
Parai.
Parai.
Waya Kwara'a.
Waya Korea.
Atha.
Atha.
Yawasap.
Yawasa.
Waya Ra Yataza.
Waya so.
Waya Ra Yataza Hawa.
Waya rise.
That's 5 words.
Waya
Raya Tazahawa.
Waya Raya
Tazahawa.
Tazawa.
Excellent. Mana.
Mana.
Habawar.
Habawar.
Wayagalach.
Wayagala.
Wayakalap.
Wayakala.
Wamalathyawa. Wamalathyawa.
Wamalafia.
Wamalathyawa. Wamalathyawa.
Wamalafia.
Waba'a.
Babaya.
Al. Parai.
Parai.
Verse 15.
Verse 15.
Waya Amar.
Waya Amar.
Parai.
Parai.
Al.
Yawasap.
Kalawam.
Kalawam.
Kalamathia.
Kalamafia.
Wapathar.
Wapathar.
Ayan. Athawa. Wa'anya.
Wa'anya.
Shemaithya. Ilayak.
Ilayak.
La Amar. Tashamai. There it is. Kalawam. La Pathar. Athawa. Waya'ain. Yawasap. Atha. Parai. La Amar.
Lawamar.
Bala'aidya.
Bala'aidua.
Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Ya'ana. Shalom. 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 Everybody want to say it.
I was repeating that.
Shalom.
Power, yeah. Power, yeah. Power, yeah.
It's just a lot. We read power a lot. The bar.
Verse 17.
17. 17. All right. The bar.
Why the bar?
All right.
Harai.
Ayla. Yawasap. Bakalamya.
Bakalamya.
Hananya.
Ananya.
Ahmad.
Al.
Shapat. Hayara.
Haya.
Verse 18. Wahan. Mana. Hayar.
Hayar.
Allah.
Ayaf.
Shabai. Parawath. Bara Ya'awath.
Bara
Ya'awath.
Awat.
Bashar. Wayapath. Tha'ar.
Tawar.
Wathar Ainawa.
Watar Ainawa.
Watharai Yana.
Watarai Ana.
Ba'akwa.
Ba'atwa. Verse 19.
Verse 19. Wahana. Shabai. Parawath. Akarwath. Ilawath. Akar Yahawan. Akar Yahan. Dalawath. Waraiwath. Tha'ar. Ma'ad. Warakwawath. Bashar. La'ah. Ra'ayathya. Yathya. Ra'ayathya. Yathya. Kahana. Bakal. Arataza. Matazarium. Lara'ai. All right, verse 20.
Verse 20.
Akalna.
What the cow?
Kalna. Haparwath. Harakwawath.
Harakawath.
Wahara'ayawath. Ra'ayawath.
Wahirayath.
Ata. Shabai. Haparwath. Wara'ashanwath. Hara'ashanawath. Shanawath.
Shanawath.
Habar Ya'am. So like a Habar Ya'am.
Habarayath.
Verse 21.
Verse 21.
Wataba'ana. Al. Qarabana. Qarabana. Wala'a. Nawadai. Kaya. Ba'awa. Al. Qaraban. Umara'a Yahan. Ra'ai. Ra'ai is the word for ugly. Ra'ai.
Like that's the word for fail.
Yeah. Ka'ashar.
That's it. All right.
Batakala.
Did you say it again?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Batakala.
Batakara.
Wa'ayakwataza.
Why I Karataza. Verse 22.
Wa'ara'a.
Wa'ara.
Ba'kalama. Ba'kalamya.
Lumya,
Wahana,
Wahana,
Shabai,
Shabai,
Shabalium,
Shabalium,
Ailath,
Ailath,
Bakwana,
Bakwana,
Akkad,
Akkad,
Malaath,
Malaath,
Watsabawath,
Watabawath.
or Watsawa would be.
Watsawa.
Yeah.
Verse 23.
Wahana,
Wahana,
Shabai,
Shabai,
Shabalium,
Shabalium,
Tazanamwath,
Tazanamniwath,
Dakwawath,
Dakawat,
Shadapawath,
Shabawat,
Quadayim,
Kodayim,
Tazamakawath,
Tazamalakwa,
Akar Yaham.
Akarium.
Verse 24.
Verse 24.
What the
Adabalaya,
Iwa.
Iwa,
Hashabalium,
Hashabalium,
Hadaka,
Ada,
Shabai,
Shabai,
Hashabalium,
Shabalium,
Hatabawath,
Atazabat,
Wa Amar,
Amar,
Al,
Al,
Achar Tamayim,
Hahar Tamalium,
Wa Ayan,
Wa'ayun,
Magayad,
Magala,
Laya.
Laya,
Verse 25.
verse 25,
Waya Amar,
Waya Amar,
Yawasap,
Yawasap,
Allah. That's
Allah,
like it. Al,
Al,
Parai,
Harai,
Kalawam,
Kalawam,
Parai,
Harai,
Akkad,
Akkad,
Hawa'a,
Hawa,
Atha,
Ata,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Ha'alahayim,
Ahalayim,
Aisha,
Asha,
Hagayad,
Hagayad,
La Parai,
La Parai, verse 26,
Shabai,
Shabai,
Parath,
Parath,
Hatabath,
Hatabath,
Shabai,
Shabai,
Shanyam,
Shanyan,
Hana,
Hana,
Washabai,
Vashabai,
Ha-Shabalium,
Hashabalium,
Ha-Tabath,
Hatabath,
Shabai,
Shabai,
Shanyam,
Shanyan,
Hana,
Hana,
Kalawam,
Kalawam,
Akkad,
Akkad,
Ha'awa.
Hawa,
That's really starting to
verse
flow, right?
27,
Almost there. We got to get to verse 30. Washabai,
Vashabai,
Ha-Parawath,
Haparawath,
Harakawath,
Hakawat,
Wahar Ayah.
Hahaw,
It's like it.
Ayah,
Wahara'aith.
Waharai,
Ha'ath.
Wa'ala,
Achar Yahan.
Hakariman,
Shabai.
Shabai,
Shanyam.
Shanyan,
Hana.
Hanan,
Washabai.
Washabai,
Ha-Shabalium.
Hashabal,
Harakowath.
Hakawa,
Shapawath.
Shatawa, Kadi,
Hayawath. Shabai.
Shabai,
Shanya.
Shanya,
Ra'ib.
Ra'ib.
It's like a Ra'ibah.
Hawa,
Hawa. Adabar.
Halabar,
Ashar.
Ashar,
Barathya.
Tabarafya,
Al.
Al,
Parai.
Harai,
Ashar.
Ashar,
Alayim.
Ahalayim,
Aisha.
Asha,
Para.
Hara,
Atha.
Ata,
Parai.
Parai, verse 29,
Verse 29. Hana.
Hana,
Shabai.
Shabai,
Shanyam.
Shanyan,
Ba'awath.
Bawat,
Shabai.
Shabai,
Gadawal.
Gadawal,
Bakal.
Bakal,
Arataza.
Haratza,
Matazarium.
Matazarium,
Wakwamawa.
Bakalawa,
Wakwamawa.
Bakalawa,
Shabai.
Shabai,
Shanya.
Shanya.
Ra'ibah. Ra'ibah.
Wait, which verse we on?
Verse 30.
Oh, I didn't even know we switched to verse 30.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, we're going to
Verse 30.
start from the top. Wakwamawa.
Wakamawa,
Shabai.
Shabai,
Shanya.
Shanya,
Ra'ibah.
Ra'abah,
Akar Yahan.
Akarayan.
A Yahan.
Ah.
Akar Yahan.
Wakarayan.
Wa Nashakath.
Wanashakath.
It's Wanashakath.
Wanashakath.
Kal.
Kal.
Hashabai.
Hashabai.
Ba'arataza.
Arataza.
Matazarian.
Matazar.
Wakal. So your Wakala.
Wakala.
Haraiba.
Harab.
Haraiba. Ata.
Ata.
Ha'arataza.
Ha'arataza. Verse 31.
No, that's it. So we're going to go to the English. Going to read Genesis chapter 41, verse 1 in the English. Now, again, Joseph is going through all types of stuff, but what's going on is that Egyptian civilization is going to be at the entire fate of the civilization of Egypt is going to fall on Joseph, because nobody's going to have the answers for what the Pharaoh is so worried about. And it's all something that lines right up with prophecy and Israel's ability to have a connection with the Most High that allows us to know what happens before it does. Now, again, these particular stories, they echo the idea of Israel being prophets. That's what's going on. I'm saying that Joseph is acting like one in this picture, in this story. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 41 and verse 1, and they full years that Pharaoh stood by the river too, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kin, and fat-fleshed, and they fed in a meadow. Verse 3, and behold, 7 other kind came up after them out of the river, ill-favored, and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kind upon the brink of the river. Verse 4, and the ill-flavored and the lean-fleshed kind did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kin. So Pharaoh awoke.
So you have a nightmare about cows eating other cows, sick cows eating healthy cows, specifically. Go ahead. That's a kin, when we in Hebrew, it was saying cows. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 5, and he slept and dreamed the second time, and behold, 7 years of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good.
Right, good healthy corn. Go ahead.
Verse 6, and behold, 7 years, and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. Verse 7, and the 7 years devoured the 7 rank and full years, and Pharaoh woke, and behold, it was a dream. And verse 8, and it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof, and Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh.
They couldn't even BS what it was. They couldn't lie about what it was. Nobody had a real answer that was going to settle the Pharaoh's worry. And Joseph's going to tell you what it is, but let's see how it gets to him. Go ahead. It's been 2 years since he helped the butler. Remember that. That's how I started the chapter. It's been 2 years, and he never brought, him up to the Pharaoh or nothing like that. Well, no sweat. The Most High is going to open up an opportunity for his name to be mentioned. Go ahead.
Verse 9, that he then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day.
1 second. I got your touch here.
Verse 10, Pharaoh was wroth.
I mean, wrathful, angry. Go ahead.
Pharaoh was wroth with his servants and put me in the ward in the captain of the guard's house. both me and the chief baker.
He said, I remember my faults to this day, meaning I forgot to hold up my end of the bargain because and that he helped him in the time of his need in the prison. That's what he's telling him. Go ahead.
Verse 10, verse 11. And he dreamed a dream in one night, and one night I and he, we dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. Mm-hmm. Verse 12. And there was there with us a young man, a Hebrew servant, to the captains of the guard. And we told him, and we interpreted to us our dreams, to each man according to his dream. He did interpret. Verse 13. And it came to pass as he interpreted to us, so it was me he restored unto mine office, and him he hanged.
Hold it right there. Would you want to add to that?
Yeah, so like I said, if I could, some like dreams, some of them are like actual calls, right? Like the Most High, like is like we say you a dream, and then you have to like correspond with it. Right?
A lot of times,
Is that correct?
If there is a meaning behind it, it doesn't become that until it's interpreted by a priest. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no validation in Pharaoh's dream until it was broken down by Joseph. There was no validation in the pillars or the baker's dream until Joseph gave it true meaning. So the problem is, there's a scripture in the Apocrypha that says that talks about dreams, and that people that hold on to their interpretation of it can be a troublesome thing. But that's why it's important. It says, if it be not the Most High's visitation, think not upon them. I have to, you know what? Let me see. Do we have Apocrypha? You know what? Let me just read it. That way, hold where you're at in the scripture. The Ecclesiastes chapter 34 and verse 1 says, the hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false, and dreams lift up fools. Like Martin Luther King Jr., for example, right? Yeah. I have a dream, this, that, whatever. A man void of understanding. It says, and dreams lift up fools. Whoso regardeth dreams is like him that catcheth at a shadow and followeth after the wind. The vision of his dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to a face. Of any unclean thing, what can be cleansed? And from that thing which is false, what truth can come? Divinations and soothsayings and dreams are vain, and the heart fancieth as a woman's heart in travail. If, this is the important part, because we just got through talking to smack about dreams, right? It says, if they be not sent from the Most High in thy visitation, set not thy heart upon them. For dreams have deceived many, and they have failed that put their trust in them. And then it says, the law shall be found perfect without lies, and wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth. You understand what I'm saying? Why is it saying that after saying that? So it's saying, stop worrying about your dreams, but it says, if they be not sent from the Most High. So then that's the real question. The real question is my dream sent from the Most High? Right. And the only way you're going to know that is if you go to a priest. See what I'm saying? So people will have dreams all the time and then act upon their interpretation of it instead of going and communicating with the men above them and getting an understanding of what it could mean. Why? Because that priest is going to break it down according to the law and according to the prophecy. You understand? And that's why it has it in that exact order. So that's exactly what Joseph is doing. He's doing nothing more than understanding how the Most High is in play in their dream. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. I'm going to break it down too, because it's going to go into the dream itself. Go to verse 14.
Verse 14, the Pharaoh sent and called Joseph and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon.
So it said, hey, yo, man, listen, when you threw me into prison, there was a dude that was in the prison that was able to break down my dream and someone else's dream in the same night. And it happened exactly how he broke it down. And what did Pharaoh do? He was like, well, go get him. What are you doing? Hurry up. So they brought him hastily out of the prison. You know what I'm saying?
Hastily.
Yeah.
That is
An entire empire, right? And the most important person in that entire empire is a dude stuck in the prison in the empire. Because he done went to the magicians, the soothsayers, the wise men, right, of Egypt, and they can't do a damn thing, which we know they couldn't. But they you know, they're there because they probably fooled their way into those positions, right? But now when things are getting real and the Pharaoh is being sent a vision by the Most High, now there's only one way that thirst for understanding can be quenched, and it is through a Hebrew. You understand? That's why they're so important to mention that he was a Hebrew, because it differentiates him from everybody else that has been presented before the Pharaoh. So go ahead and continue verse 14.
And he shaved himself and changed.
Officer, you know,
Go ahead.
fuck cookies. Like, you know, like we have a like a race kind of thing, right? You know what I mean? But like this particular scripture is telling you like he's a Hebrew, like he ain't no African, and he ain't no Spaniard, he ain't no Hispanic, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, he ain't even differentiated down to Shemitic. It went specifically into Hebrew. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And like most of the time, like I have arguments with our people because over race, bro.
Oh, forget about it. I mean, you got Edomites that are pastors.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense according to the scriptures.
But this is,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
what's particular though, like the Hebrew.
Yeah. Oh, the Hebrew, he got the real answers.
Right.
So the only way that Esau can even pretend to be the go-to know-it-all is for him to what? Steal the identity of the Hebrew. Now you got a whole state right now at war with everybody around them because they're trying to bully everybody into believing that they're the ones with the answers when it's obvious that they're not. They've been blessed with the sword, though. That's the extent of their power. Go ahead.
And changed his raiment. So and came in unto Pharaoh. Verse 15.
He got prepped up. They fixed him up, and then got him ready to go in front of the Pharaoh because being in a prison, you ain't exactly dressed to impress, right? So they got him right, basically. Go ahead.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it. Verse 16, and Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace.
Man, that's heavy. We got to start acting more like that. Stop trying to take the credit for your skills and give that to the Most High who put the spirit in you to have the abilities that you have. If you're a good cook, it's the Most High that made you a good cook. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I cooked that. No, the Most High gave me the blessing to be able to do such a marvelous work. You know what I'm saying? Or anything, any craft that you're good at. We have to look at this more humble, like Joseph. We can learn from this. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And Joseph said unto and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river. Verse 18. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 kin, fat-fleshed and well-flavored, and they fed in a meadow. Verse 19. And behold, 7 other kin came up after them, poor and very ill-flavored, and lean flesh.
You can see the bone through them. You ever seen like a sick dog that's been on the street for a long time? You know, haven't had a good meal in a while, scrapping, taking scraps out the trash. They got lean flesh, and it's describing it, and it bothers Joseph because he probably likes animals. He got hella animals. This is a dream that is affecting him to the bone. You know what I mean? Because he's seeing such famine and impoverishment happening with different examples of prosperity and lack thereof. Go ahead.
Such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness.
See, that's what gets him, because it's like, I'm not used to this situation. I'm here in this comfortable kingdom, and I'm having dreams about everything going to rot. Keep going.
And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-flavored at the beginning.
That's even more scary. And I'm going to help you understand that too, because Joseph is going to explain it perfectly, but it really gives a good perspective of what's happening in the dream. Go ahead.
So I awoke, verse 22, and I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 years came up in one stalk, full and good. Mm-hmm. Verse 23, and behold, 7 years withered then, and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. Verse 24, and the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me.
Keep going. Now Joseph's going to break it down. He's going to tell him what it is. Go ahead.
Verse 25, and Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. God has shewed Pharaoh what he is about to do. Verse 26, the 7 good kin are 7 years, and the 7 years of 7 years.
Yeah, the good corn, right? 7 years of good crop, good cattle, right? So in a whole, Egypt is in a good position for 7 years. Go ahead.
And the dream is one. Verse 27, and the 7 thin and ill-flavored kin that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 years and the 7 empty years blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine.
Now the Pharaoh's feeling it. He's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Go ahead.
Verse 28. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh, what God is about to do. He showed unto Pharaoh.
And he's only doing it for Pharaoh, for Joseph to get out of the prison. You understand? To get him in the position to where that vision he had of him being Lord over his brothers is going to get closer to happening. Keep going.
Verse 29. Behold, there comes 7 years of good plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. Verse 30. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine.
Yeah.
And all plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt.
Yeah.
And the famine shall consume the land.
And that's what happens when a famine hits. And when you're a person in rulership, like I'll give you an example. You look at any of the shows about Rome or any of the movies about Rome or any kingdom, like in the older times, what happens is whenever there's famine or a lack of food or shortages of grain and rice and all that kind of stuff that people need to eat, right? Flour and that sort of thing. Riots start to happen on the streets. People start to, like think about even nowadays, present days, when store shelves got emptied out, and then very quickly do people start to uprise against their rulers. And as a ruler, that's something that you have to consider. You want your subjects or your people in your nation to trust you and to have faith in the planning of your ability to lead them, right? Now, in this particular case, it was down to the specifics of the years, which is perfect because it gives him the timeline of how much time he has before the famine. But what happens in a famine? People start to use up all the resources that they have, and guess where they're going to go to get more resources? They're going to go to the people that have the resources. And so this is exactly what plays out. We're going to read more later as we do our Sabbath services that's exactly what happens. Other kingdoms, entire kingdoms, had to come to Egypt to sustain their kingdom. You know what I mean? That's exactly what led Jacob's brothers to go to Egypt. Because the same exact thing that happened to them was happening everywhere, where families couldn't feed their kids. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have no food for their crops it's like no food for their cattle to continue to raise their cattle. So that consumption eats away at them, and then they're all start to flock towards whoever has it left, which could then, of course, lead to violence and war and everything like that. And so they had to take everything they had, go to Egypt and try to get it. Well, guess what? What advantage would you have if during a famine you had a stockpile of food, not so much that not just for your kingdom, but enough to then gain the trust and resources of other kingdoms around it? Now it's a double whammy, because now you have the ability to plan ahead for a famine that's about to take place, to where instead of those ill-favored calves coming and destroying your calves, you're going to replenish those other calves. Instead of those corn coming up and taking over your corn and causing your whole field to go desert, all the field is going to do much better because you prepared for it. And they did not know about that. But because you have a prophet on your side, you have the understanding of how much time you have to get ready. Now, how does that echo in today's time? We got prophets that go out on the street. We got class things that are getting ready to happen in this world. And it is just like how you're the Pharaoh in this case. You have to decide whether you're going to prepare for these times that are going to come. And we see the benefit of having prepared for it, to where not only is the Pharaoh and his direct circle of people that he cares about are all taken care of, but that famine that normally would cause chaos and people to, try to take over what you have, will come to you in good faith of wanting to work with you so that you can take care of them, and you'll have the ability to do that. And I feel like that's more important than flexing on other nations, to actually be able to help them and then earn a good rapport amongst everybody around you. It makes you that much more. And that's something that this Pharaoh is being blessed for, because one, he's bringing Joseph out of the prison. So the Most High is going to bless him for that. And then two, his kingdom is going to be sustained during this famine that's, of course, going to lead to all the other events that take place in the scriptures. In fact, it's because of this happening that Israel even had a place to grow and build right next to it. Was it called Goshen, I believe? That city came up because of this situation. This is the beginning of that happening. You know what I'm saying? So it's really heavy to see that, because it all came through preparation and one man having faith in the Most High that ended up saving our entire bloodline from going extinct, because that famine would have killed us. But the Most High moved things in a certain way to where it played out like this, and it ended up in Israel's favor. You know what I'm saying? Because he works through prophets that give an understanding of what's to come. All right. With that, Amagin means to stand. Asar, which means to turn. Yapam Wahakadam. Let's cover that. Tanya, how many cover this scroll? Grab it from the bottom. That'll help you hold it better. All right. Now we're going to start or finish rather with the Lord's Prayer in the last one, Kodash, and then in English. Abanao. Bashamayim, Kodash, Hayat, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakutka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Hayat, Aisha, Va'arataza, Kawa,
Wa,
Haya,
Haya,
Bashaman,
Basman,
Lathananawa,
Latanaw,
Lakam,
Bakam,
Ka,
Kal,
Yawam,
Yawam,
Wasalakanaw,
Wasalaknaw,
Kabawaknaw,
Kabawafnaw,
Kasalaknaw,
Kasalaknaw,
Kabawathinaw,
Kabawafnaw,
Wala'a,
Wala,
Tabia'anaw,
Tabainaw,
Banasaya 1,
Wadasaya 1,
Abal,
Abal,
Hawashayanaw,
Hawashayanaw,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Rai,
Rai,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Hamalakwa,
Malaka,
Watapa'arat,
Wataparak,
Lai Walumyu,
Lai,
Aman.
Aman.
Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
thy kingdom come,
thy kingdom come,
thy will be done
thy will be done
in earth
and earth,
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
Our daily
and
bread,
forgive us our
and
debts
forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors,
And lead us not
and lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
deliver us
from evil.
for thine
For thine is the kingdom,
thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
All right, turn your face towards me. Yahweh Hashem Shai Brak Yah. Face towards him. Tajiyar. Did you want the boys to salute?
Yeah, Basi Sabra, yeah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakia.
Go ahead and sit. Scroll down. All right, now at this time, since you may have a seat, at this time we're gonna give the brothers one courtesy salute. Individual, Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmad, Barak, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Brakathon, Yadi Matah. All right, go ahead and stand, sis. Turn and face the sis for one courtesy salute. Individual, Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmad, Barak, Yahweh Shabbat, Bashim Yahshua,
Shalom, Yahweh Shemar, and without Hashem, Yahweh Shemar.
Yadi Matah. Dismissed. Go ahead and end the stream right there.